Celine versus Loewe. Which is the better brand? Hello everyone, welcome back to another mommy review where I review all things for the love of. Today I'm comparing Loewe versus Celine, which is the better brand. Now before I get started, if you like the content on this channel, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for considering, and welcome back for those of you who are already subscribers to this handbag lover's journey. So let's get started. So these are two handbag brands that I've been recently very obsessed with just because of their look. It's more minimalistic, not as like logo heavy and just quiet luxury. So I've been debating about these two brands. I think Celine is very classic, timeless, and just lots of sophisticated handbag pieces in their collection. But at the same time, I feel the same way about Loewe as well. So for this video, I want to go over the distinct difference between these two brands as well as their similarities, and hopefully will help you decide between Loewe and Celine which is better for you. For this video, I'll be going over history, price ranges, their style and aesthetic, their material and craftsmanship, and finally come to the final verdict, which is the better brand for you. Celine versus Loewe. So let's get started. History. Loewe is a Spanish fashion house that was founded in 1846. It is one of the oldest brands owned by LVMH, and brand began as just leather craftsmen, and in 1905 officially obtained the name Royal Warrant of Appointment, becoming an official purveyor of leather goods for the royal household of Spain. And from there, Loewe just got even more popular, and then officially in 1996 and 1997 is when it became part of LVMH. So it's all under this big umbrella for a number of luxury fashion houses. On the other hand, Celine was founded in 1945, so the history is not as rich as Loewe. It was started as a made-to-measure children's shoe business boutique in Paris, so it's a French origin. And then it wasn't until 1960 that the brand began to be like a luxury fashion house and focus on women ready-to-wear clothing. Ultimately, Celine also got taken over by LVMH in 1997, around the same time as Loewe. So in terms of history, I would say Loewe has a much richer history and background behind it. So let's see how this comes to play in terms of their material and craftsmanship. Materials and craftsmanship. Let's start off with Loewe. Most Loewe bags are made from calfskin leather. Usually comes with various ranges like soft natural, nappa, satin calfskin, so a whole lot of different types of finishes. I think Loewe is known to be like a very proud Spanish luxury brand. It does have incredible leather work that they focus on for their craftsmen and artisans, especially in the manufacture process. So I think it's well known for high quality finish because the brand itself is just take pride in obsessing over craftsmanship, over its technique, its modern design, and also this refined manufacturing. Now, as opposed to Celine, I think Celine is also crafted from calfskin leather with lots of different finishes, very much known for durability and versatility. But I think Celine has more raw materials of different qualities, including lizard and stingray, cobra, crocodile, that you won't see so much in Loewe. Most of the Celine bags that you'll find will be made in Italy. Next, I want to talk about price ranges. Celine price ranges officially on their site, I think ranges between $2,000 to around $23,000, really depending on the style, the exotic letters that's used. Whereas Loewe bags range from around $400, I would say more $500 to up to $12,000 or so. Again, depending on the finishes and the designs as well. So you can see obviously there are outliers, but on average, I would say Celine handbags are a little bit pricier, whereas Loewe is a little bit more affordable. Target audience. I feel like Celine does gear towards a younger audience compared to, let's say, some of the older brands like Chanel and like Louis Vuitton. But with that said, I think between Celine and Loewe has a much younger audience towards the younger generation that they're targeting compared to Celine, partially because of the style. So let's talk about style. In terms of style, I find Celine is a little bit more elegant, very minimalistic, like very sleek, eternally stylish handbag silhouettes. Very effortlessly sophisticated, like modern Parisian style. But I think that what is common between the two brands for Loewe and Celine is that they're both a little bit more minimalistic, not logo heavy. But of course, there are some like outliers for both brands where there are more prominent logoing that is shown in some of the handbags for Celine. With Celine with their CC logo, and Loewe also has the anagram as well. But I find for the Loewe handbags, they're a little bit more distinct in style, very unique. Different from the typical luxury. Some people will call it like playful and like the handbags designs, but some of them I find is very like just distinguished, breaks away from like the stereotype luxury handbags that you would think of. Resale value. Now I find that for both brands, they have like amazing pieces, but they're not like necessarily investment pieces. They're not bags that you're hoping to make a profit from at some point. They are usually quite trendy, fashion forward, but in the pre-loved market, I don't think it has a greatest appeal compared to, like, say, handbag brands like Louis Vuitton or Chanel. So I don't think this is like a major category to help you decide between a Celine and a Loewe handbag, because it really depends on the styling of the bag itself and like how well you maintain it. But definitely there is a potential for resale, but definitely not expected to be above what you pay for at the boutique. So those are some of the main categories that I want to review for differences and similarities for Celine and Loewe. So let's talk about what is the final conclusion. I think both brands offer beautiful handbags. Their materials and craftsmanships are fairly similar. I would say Celine has a wider variety of materials, but I heard that the craftsmanships are pretty similar as well, like really high quality. It is a very tough choice between Celine and Loewe because I think they're both fashion houses with beautiful handbag collections. But there are some important differences. I think number one is probably price range. If you are on a tighter budget, I would say Celine is probably not your preferential. Loewe will be a little bit more affordable. In terms of style and brand aesthetic is also an important part for you to consider. Loewe, I know, is high quality, but it's a little bit more playful, unique, something different from the typical luxury. Whereas if you're looking for something a little bit more chic, timeless, and elegant, handbags that you will use like for years to come, Celine is, I think, it's a little bit of a safer choice. But regardless, I think like both handbag brands are just wonderful choices to choose if you're looking for something more of a low-key luxury. So that is my review of Loewe versus Celine, which is the better brand. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Are you a Celine fan or a Loewe fan? And out of each of these brands, which is your favorite handbag from these fashion houses? I would love to hear from you. Please comment below. And with that said, thank you so much for joining me on another mommy review, and I'll see you next time. Take care and stay safe, everyone.